Yes, hello and welcome everybody. It's Chris here from the Ministry of Dice, and I'm back again today with another one of my video presentation whatchamacallums. And as you can see on the title card there, I'm going to talk today about combos using cards from the new Avengers Infinity Gauntlet set. That's right. At the time of recording, it's very exciting. We're mere weeks away from the North American release, but regular viewers will know that we at the Ministry of Dice were blessed to have received a preview product of the we had a countertop display that we unboxed. Go check that video out too if you're interested, folks. But I've been, therefore, with the cards in hand, and I've been playing around with a few team ideas and a few combos. So I'm going to take a few minutes just to share a couple with you today. A couple of things to point out before I start. These are possibly not competitive combos. These are combos that stand out to me because they were fun. I enjoyed playing them, and I think you guys might enjoy playing them too. So don't be hanging around here looking for what the big meta smash face combo is going to be. These were fun combos that I've enjoyed playing around with. The other point I wanted to make, a couple of the card combos here, Andy and I actually recorded the games that I played using these teams. So if you want to go back through our live gameplay archive, you'll find some examples in there of some of these combos that I'm talking about today actually in use. There we go. Oh, and point number 3, don't forget, folks, scroll on down to the like and subscribe. We are about to be launching a giveaway for subscribers, so make sure you keep your eyes out for information on that coming up. But please do head on down to like and subscribe. And if there's any combos using Avengers Infinity Gauntlet cards that you've clocked or you're excited to use that I've not talked about today, then please do share them in the comments below. Okay, brilliant. Let's get into it. Let's talk about these combos that I've been playing around with. So the first one on my list is SheHulk Greenie with the Drow Mercenary Hired Blade. This was super fun to play around with. So SheHulk Greenie here, when she's active, she grabs at the beginning of your turn, before even the clear and draw step, a non-sidekick character die from your use pile and drops it in the field at level 1. So I was using Greenie to grab my Drow Mercenary after it had done an unblocked attack and had disappeared into my use pile. This is a challenge that I've had with unblockable teams for a long time. I'm not great at bag management. I'm not great at churning my dice through. So SheHulk Greenie was just a great solution for someone like me who's not fantastic at getting those unblockable dice back round for their second or third attack. And to pull my Drow Mercenary in at level 3 with a lovely 3 attack there and drop it back in the field ready for another attack in the following turn. And because she was doing it before my bag reset, it meant that that Drow Mercenary was always chilling in my use pile ready to come back out. So it just meant that with her sitting heavy in the field, look at those stats as well, she wasn't getting shifted anytime soon. I could attack with my Drow Mercenary, it falls into the use pile, and then at the beginning of my turn just get that Drow Mercenary straight back. And it worked wonders. It worked really well. It took a bit of build up. You know, you've got to ramp to that 6 cost on the SheHulk, and I can't remember. You'll have to go check the video out, but I think I was playing around with just some globals and stuff to help me get up to that ramp point. I think Kree Captain Global specifically was one that I was using. But it meant that I was getting those Drow Mercenaries round real quick, and then I was using the old Stuart Avengers ID card combo alongside that Drow Mercenary there too, to give him that stat bump to make the unblockable attack all the more painful for my opponent. So yeah, loads of fun, loads of great opportunity with that SheHulk Greenie. I think there's much more to be explored with her yet, but that was just one that I'd kind of had my eye on early doors, and I built a team very quickly around, chucked on the table, and had loads and loads of fun playing, and I think you might too. So there you go, combo number 1. Let's take us on to combo number 2 then. And what we've got here in combo number 2 is, I suppose, a way I'm solving that ramp and churn problem that I mentioned. So I've got Iron Lad becoming Kang here, 4 cost bolt. When Iron Lad takes damage, deal 1 damage to target character die. If he's on his burst face, which is his level 3, he deals 2. But then also he's got a global that says once per turn, pay a bolt. When a source you control deals damage to a character die or player. If you do, prep a die from your bag. And then, of course, the classic Throne Brick, everybody knows this. Nice, cheap, 2-cost action that deals 1 damage to target character die, and if that character is not KO'd, preps you a die, as well as prepping the Throne Brick itself. So, I must admit, actually, if you go back through the archive, the video that went up that included this combo, it didn't really go off very well, but other plays with it, it has proven to be loads and loads of fun. It's not tremendously good for early doors ramp, necessarily, but it is really handy for bag churn in the mid to late game. But what I also liked was that little element of kind of dropping Iron Lad in the field, throwing my brick at him, so that I could then pay a bolt to initiate the global, therefore prepping 2 dice in addition to the thrown brick rather than just the 1. But also because his game text delivers damage down the field when he takes damage, it was just a nice little bit of extra ping that I was sort of throwing over. At the time, Andy was playing with his Volo Attune guy who had a low defense, so I was just pinging him off loads, throwing my brick at Iron Lad, pinging off the Volo and paying a bolt to get an additional prep, so I had thrown brick and 2 dice waiting for me to roll next turn. So just loads and loads of fun. It was just really easy to put together. Iron Lad at a 4 cost is not difficult to get in the field. Thrown brick certainly at a 2 cost is not difficult to get rotating around. Picking up the thrown brick early doors is just a beneficial thing to do anyway. It helped the team out, and it had the added value element where Iron Lad's global and his game text synergized just great with what thrown brick was doing. So yeah, really lovely kind of wrapping churny sort of thing going on there, with some added value direct damage in the mix to take out those annoying characters across the field, and I had lots of fun playing it. So yeah, please do go check out the game that went up a couple of weeks back using this combo. It didn't really come off, but I think you might like some of the other Avengers Infinity Gauntlet cards that were used in that, but in other plays that I had with it, it came off really, really well. I'd recommend it. It's fun to use. Okay, on to my next combo, folks. And here we have Black Panther's Stealthy Adversary and Seth Rollins' Hybrid Athlete. Now, this one is super inefficient. It's not really that great a combo. But again, using that qualifying factor of did I enjoy playing it? Was it fun? Yes, absolutely. So Black Panther here reads, when Black Panther is blocked by at least 1 non-sidekick, non-Avenger character die, she gains Overcrush. So the thing with this here is that I would quite like to have an 8-2 Overcrushing dice in the field on the rare instance that I decide to do something in the attack step. But the thing here, of course, is that she loses that Overcrush the minute she's blocked by a sidekick. And that means my opponent was able to just, weenie block all the time. So this is where Seth Rollins came in, Hybrid Athlete. He's got tag out, that's fine, but his secondary game text reads, when Seth Rollins attacks, all sidekicks must block a Seth Rollins superstar die if able. So it was just a lovely, I suppose, tag team, for lack of a better phrase there, because what Seth Rollins was doing is he was ensuring that my opponent was definitely having to block with their non-sidekick characters, which was meaning that Black Panther was definitely always getting the Overcrush. And what I was also doing is, she's not pictured on screen actually, but I'll just mention, I was playing with the Zatanna from the Justice campaign box that spins characters up when you field them. So I was popping Zatanna out early doors, and then when Black Panther came along, she was getting spun up to those higher stats, and then I was dropping Seth Rollins in to take care of weenie blocking. Did it work? It had some measure of success, but it was super fun. I was certainly still coming across Avengers character dice or high defense, non-Avengers characters that was able to soak up some chunk of the Overcrush. But it was just a lovely combo, super casual fun. We were laughing and giggling as we were playing it, and when the realization of what Seth Rollins' second game text meant, when I finally got him out in the field, my opponent was just like, oh, you got me, you bugger, So it was just loads of fun, super enjoyable. We both had a great experience messing around with it, and I'd highly recommend it just for a bit of a laugh. All right, okay then, on to my next combo. And this one I've had my eye on for a long time as well. If you take a look back, I called out this Nebula in a win condition video that I made when I was reviewing the spoilers, and I've subsequently been talking about it a little bit on Discord with the aforementioned Stuart. So we've got Nebula here. She's a 4-cost mass. She's sister to Gamora, the subtitle, and she reads, while Nebula is active, if your opponent draws and rolls more than 4 dice during their clear and draw step, they lose 2 life, which is great if your opponent's playing with Swarm or playing with the new Rush keyword. But what we've got here in WWE with Macho Man Randy Savage, oh, yeah! Did I do that right, WWE fans? Does that sound right? I'm trying. I'm trying. But anyway, his game text, it reads, while Macho Man Randy Savage is active, players draw an extra die during their clear and draw step. So it was definitely quite an oppressive little maneuver I pulled. Once again, I was using the Kree Captain Global and Clayface to help me get to these 4 costs a little bit quicker. In fact, incidentally, I had one of the new Wongs on the team to serve as my cheap 2-fist character to help me do that rampy combo. And if you're not familiar with that, what you do there is you buy a low-cost fist character like Wong in your first turn, so it's sitting in your use pile, so that when your second turn starts, you can Clayface the double fist character into the field and then use the Kree Captain Global, so that I could buy these 4 costs for the Kree Captain Global plus a fist or a mask. So it was quite card intensive just to help me get to these 4 costs quickly. But once I got the 2 of them out, it was really putting a timer on the game. Now, I've qualified this as fun because I love the combo. I love the way the combo came together and worked. I'm not sure my opponent at the time enjoyed it quite as much. And I think if they were here, they would say so, because it definitely put a clock on. What we did discover through the game was that Rando San Mandy Savage. What we did discover is Macho Man Randy Savage, his low defense at level 1, his 3-1, became a bit of a problem for me because he became very easy to remove by my opponent. So they were able to get him out when I was rolling him in on level 1. They were able to get him out the field a little bit easier to kind of cut the knees out from underneath the combo. So that's something that you may want to consider if you like the look of this combo, is keeping Macho Man Randy Savage alive when he's on his lower level 1 there. But really lovely, low fielding cost to get them out. I think 4 costs, especially with the kind of rampy combo that I described before, means you can get them out quick. But yeah, while my qualifier is it's a lot of fun, this was definitely one where my opponent was like, what? Oh no. And they enjoyed the extra dice, don't get me wrong, but they did not enjoy losing 2 life. Oh, actually, just before I move on to the next combo, the fact that it's lose 2 life as well, so much harder to counter than taking damage. So a really juicy combo there. I only played a handful of games with it just yet. Like I say, Macho Man Randy Savage needs protecting at his level 1, but it really put a clock on the game, and it definitely took me to a few wins, so I enjoyed it a great deal. Did my opponent like it so much? I don't know, but the chess of it all was fun for us, I suppose. Okay, on to my last combo, and I'm doing a 3-card combo to finish up here. And here we have probably the least competitive but most janky fun I found playing around with some of these cards. Again, I called this one out a while ago in one of my spoiler review videos I did some months back. We've got here Tombstone Sandman, and I believe this is pronounced, but if one of our French-speaking viewers would like to assist me with this for future use, I believe it's Robert Guilleman. Again, I'm trying. Yeah, if anyone's out there French-speaking, I know we've got some French-speaking Canadian viewers, please do let me know. I'd love to pin that one down. Send me a voice message with it in. But here we go. So, Tombstone, recruitment-orientated. On his burst face, says, when fielded, you may purchase a character die with printed purchase cost of 3 or less for free. But the particular unique thing about Tombstone that caught my eye and I find attractive is the fact that he has that 4 fielding cost on his level 3, which I think is just bonkers. And you might say, well, why would, that's such a pain. It's so purchase intensive. I've got to roll up the energy to afford to pay that 4 fielding cost. And I'll come to how I mitigated that, although you could, those canny amongst you will have read ahead of the cards and seen where I'm going here. But then Sandman Sinister, his game text reads, while you have the character dice in the field zone with the highest fielding cost showing, or tied for the highest, your active Sandman character dice have their printed attack doubled. So with Tombstone and Sandman, if you can get Tombstone out on his level 3, or maybe spinning up to his level 3, if you're using as a Tanner or an energy field global, something like that, then your Sandmen become 4, 6 and 6 attack across the level 1, 2 and 3 for a 3 cost, which I thought was really super fun. They're both villains as well, so I was doing some kind of villain synergy stuff there as well. And also, on the occasions where I did roll Tombstone on his burst face, although I have to admit that didn't happen very often, I was grabbing a Sandman dice for free as well. So, really inconsistent, super inconsistent, but when it does go off, it is so much fun. And my opponent was just like, what? your Sandman 6 attack? I'm like, yeah, my Sandman 6 attack, because Tombstone's out on 4 fielding cost. So it was super, super fun. And to mitigate that 4 fielding cost, as you can see there, I've got this ultramarine dude, Rubut Guiman. What's that? XIII. So that's 8th Primarch. He's got Regenerate. He's 7 cost. That's all. It doesn't matter. You might buy him, you might not. I don't know. He could certainly pitch in on the Sandman gain sets with his fielding costs, because he's got 1, 2, 3 there. But his global says pay a shield. The first character die you field this turn is free to field. So, I was using that to mitigate the Tombstone thing. Now, what I'd love, and if anyone out there knows, I feel in the back of my brain like there's a way of grabbing dice on level 3 or getting them out on level 3 in Modern, but I can't. I've been looking, I can't hunt it down. I was trying before I played with it the other night. I can't track it down. So if somebody knows, again, please head into the comments below and let me know how I can guarantee getting Tombstone out on level 3, because those burst face rolls were infrequent and I was doing a lot of energy field shenanigans to get him up to the level 4, so the Sandman were getting their stat bump. I certainly wasn't benefiting from the burst face free purchase of the Sandman so much, but it was super fun. That's the point. My main qualifying factor here is combos that are fun. The other thing with Rubut Guiman is that you have to be very willing to let your opponent have their merry fun with that global too, and I definitely regretted it. There was some nasty dice hitting the field on the other side of the table with higher fielding costs that I wasn't so keen on hitting the table for free. But that's the price you pay. And I definitely think I was getting better use out of it on the times where I did fill my Tombstone at level 3. So I think one that I need to tinker with and grow there. It's certainly not, a big, super competitive thing. But with 2 Sandmen and a Tombstone in the field at level 3, you've got enough for a 20-point kill there. And if you can figure out some ways to play around with, I don't know, like Seething Corruption, or I was messing around with the Manshoon Seething Corruption global, then great, clear a field and go through for 20. But it's very dice intensive. It's a big combo, that one, but loads and loads of fun. Okay, there you go. There's tons more combos beside. There's loads of other things that I've been having to play around with. I've been messing around with the kind of rolling down and re-rolling stuff that's kind of new and fresh in this set. I've definitely been exploring the Black Order, and there's some nice synergies going on in there. And I've also been looking at some of the obvious ones. If you take a look, there's a video with Moon Knight and Doctor Strange that I had a little tinker around with, but these were just the ones that stand out to me because I had a lot of fun messing around with them, and I plan on tinkering with them more. But all that said, that brings us to the conclusion of my little Infinity Gauntlet combos video. Again, a quick reminder, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and keep your eyes and ears open for the giveaway that's coming up soon, to coincide with our 3rd anniversary of the Ministry of Dice podcast. But thank you so very much for joining me. On the right-hand side of the screen there, YouTube's special magic super clever computer is suggesting a couple of videos that you might like. So if you got the time and you're still able to do so, maybe check a couple of those out. But in the meantime, I'm Chris. Thanks so very much for watching, and I'll see you on another video, on a podcast, or writing a blog post somewhere soon. Okay, ta-ra now, folks.